Hi everyone, it is currently the 3rd of January 2013 and out here across the Philippines today another tropical depression. Yesterday we were actually calling this a tropical depression, but it looks like PAGASA finally has come around here in the past hour here, right about 04 Zulu Universal Time. They coined it Tropical Depression Oring, and that really kind of disappoints me given the fact that yesterday there was very little mention of this system on their webpage, but now finally something out there. Unfortunately, the downside of this very late warning is you're already seeing a widespread reports of damage across portions of Mindanao and southern Visayas here. Many people stranded on ferries because they did not shut off the ferry services ahead of time, and now finally Signal Force 1s are actually being put in place, but yesterday at this time there was no warnings put up and down the coastlines here as the storm was making landfall, and many of these areas that were hit by Typhoon Bopha also have seen some exceptional heavy amount of rainfall with very little warning. Once again, actually yesterday we pointed out the fact that they only expected rain showers throughout the overnight hours with a break into the evening, but if we can see here, about 51 millimeters. If these towns look familiar, these are the places that were absolutely devastated by Typhoon Bopha 1 month ago. Some of these areas getting nearly 80 to 90 millimeters. Flooding, definitely a very high risk here with this heavy amount of rainfall continuing to come down. But now let's take a look zoomed in on this area now. It's still a rather strong system given it is only a tropical depression. Actually, this being the current water vapor imagery, and you can see that there in the Sulu Sea, there is just a huge burst of convection here in the last satellite frame, but also off here towards the east, you have Visayas here, you have Leyte, Mindanao down here towards the south. These areas are still seeing that inflow of moisture like we were talking about yesterday. With that continued inflow, still the risk of flooding across this area, not to mention there in the northern portions of Borneo and across Palawan as that circulation just continues to stir up the seas here. And all the way off there towards Manila, do not be surprised if you also get in on the mix of this thunderstorm activity. You very well could be seeing some localized flooding as this area continues to push off there towards the west. And this is actually looking into Thursday afternoon. You can have that center of circulation over the Sulu Sea. What I want to key in is just that continued moisture inflow coming in from the east. So these areas that were hit by Bopha, you're still going to be seeing some heavy rainfall. There is the risk of continued flooding and mudslides. Then Palawan, well, if anybody has any New Year's vacations out here, this is really going to see some heavy rainfall. Now, once again, look at the gradient in here. There is not a very intense gradient. You're still going to be seeing the gusty winds in the middle of thunderstorms, but as far as those sustained winds over the course of hours, do not expect that. But the problem is you have these areas popping up of that thunderstorm activity, even still moving across portions of Visayas here going into Thursday and then Friday, and those are the ones where you're hearing these damage reports on ferries, rope snapping, people being stranded. It's not really going into Friday afternoon at this time when you start to see the thunderstorm activity clearing up as the storm pushes off there towards the west, and that's when the weather should be improving all around. Now, still going to be seeing some lingering storms, but and also some of you may not even feel the effects of that, but there's those localized strong storms still pushing across here into the coming days. So with that said, if you are anywhere across these areas of Visayas, even into Cebu, extending down there into northern Mindanao, and definitely off across northern portions of Borneo and Palawan, these areas still need to continue to watch this storm system as it pushes off there towards the west, now being called Oring. This is from the Japan Meteorological Agency. They do not name it once it is a tropical depression, and at least at this time I do not think it will become a tropical storm until possibly out here into the South China Sea once it hits some improving conditions, but at least at this time that seems like it's very unlikely, but there is still a risk. Actually, this is that same model outlook going into Saturday, and you can see this system starting to reorganize, but it really does have a lot of dry air inflow coming in from the south, that moisture coming in from the east still out of the Sulu Sea. Across portions of southern Vietnam, right in here, you definitely could be seeing some heavy rainfall from this as that pushes off there towards the west, and eventually actually may track down towards the south, affecting you there in Malaysia and Thailand. So we're going to be watching this one through the coming days. For now, the big story across the Philippines Philippines here, seeing the heavy rainfall. One thing I cannot find is photos and videos of the area, so if you have any, please share them with us here. You can make a video response if you're on YouTube, or you can just post into the comment section below if you have any reports of what is happening in your local area. And then also later on today, we're probably going to be putting out another video update. We're going to talk about this area here. Is there a risk of that developing? We'll let you know. All right, everybody, stay safe out there, and thanks for watching.